Starting pitching has been the name of the game in this series, as Friday night's walk-off magic by the Indians was followed by a strong outing from Dan Herron to even this series at a game apiece. Derek Lowe has been almost unhittable at home, and he'll face a man who was unhittable last July at Progressive Field. It's the Tribe and the Angels, and it's next on Sports Time Ohio. Quite a departure from the last couple of days. Bright sunny skies in downtown Cleveland as the Indians finish off this three-game series against the Angels today here at Progressive Field. Hi, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe falling yesterday in a tight one, 2-1 to the Angels. And, boy, Torrey Hunter has been a pain in the you-know-what for the Indians in this series.
Well, Torrey Hunter has been a guy like that for years, coming up with Minnesota. He's got a terrific arm. He threw out a guy at home plate, saved a run. Not only is that, he has driven in a few runs in this series. And Torrey has been probably the most consistent Angel in the outfield this year for them. 2 home runs, almost identical spots, both fastballs up out over the plate. And you can see 3 for 8, 3 ribbies in the series. And in his career, he has been a thorn in the Indian side.
All right, so the Indians will turn to Derek Lowe to get him a win today. And so far this year, he's been their stopper.
Well, he has. All 3 wins for Derek this year have come after Indians' losses. And he's pitched very well here in Progressive Field. He's had good changeup. When he has that changeup and the slider working, his sinker always seems to be there. And if he can do that, he'll be very good for the Indians. They're looking for it. 3-1 on the year.
Our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on.
Now, matched up against Irvin Santana. If you remember last year in July here, he had a no-hitter. The first time he ever beat the Indians. But it was a strange no-hitter because the Indians scored in the first inning. They had 1 run. They tied it up in the 5th. They ended up winning 3-1. But there it was. That closed out the no-hitter. But what a difference a year makes. He's looking for his first win this year. He is 0-4 on the year. He has given up 10 home runs. 7 of them have been solo shots, but he's given up at least 2 in every start.
And that's an interesting matchup because the Indians are currently mired in their longest homerless drought in almost 30 years. We'll be back with all of the play-by-play action coming up next on Sports Time Ohio. Under sunny skies in downtown Cleveland as we approach our first pitch today. Game time temperature will be 52 degrees as the Indians try to win this series against the Los Angeles Angels. They've split the first 2. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for Mike Scioscia's Halos today. It's brought to you by Kia. Mike Trout, Howie Kendrick, Albert Pujols at the top, Kendry Morales, Torrey Hunter, and Mark Trumbo in the middle. Vernon Wells, Maicer Torres, and Chris Iannetta rounded out.
Indians starting pitcher this afternoon is going to be Derek Lowe, brought to you by MLB.com. At Bat 12 for the new iPad, which introduces incredible high-resolution imagery for iPad's new Retina display. Making his 5th start this year, 3-1 with an ERA at 3. All 3 wins have come after an Indians loss, so they could use that today. They're looking for their first series win at home this year. They're 0-3, and they had the opportunity to do it against Kansas City. They couldn't do it. We'll see if they can do it this afternoon against the Angels.
It's been tough sledding at home for everybody in the American League Central Division so far this year. Every team in the division below 500 at home here in the month of April. And this is the final game of April for the Indians, and we're underway. It's ball 1 to Mike Trout. Trout 0 for 4 yesterday for the Angels. In 20 games at AAA before the call-up, he was hitting .403. And they really like this young man, feel he has great speed and tremendous potential.
Well, they were looking for a spark. They needed that spark. You know, they released Bobby Abreu, who they tried to trade late in the spring. And you know what? There's too many bodies and just not enough spots for the guys that they have. You know, I look at this guy as being pretty much the same as Peter Borges in center field, a speedster guy. We'll see. This guy's got a lot more power.
2-2 the count. Derek Lowe, 3-1 with an ERA of an even 3 coming in. 8 walks, 8 strikeouts in his 24 innings thus far. His 2-2 pitch, a little bit low and a full count. Lowe's payoff pitch, hit on the ground to short. And as Drupal Cabrera plays the big hop, throws him out, 1 away.
Take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Duncan, Brantley, and Cunningham in the outfield. It'll be Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman on the infield, with Santana again back behind the plate. They've had the same lineup in the last 3 days.
Adrian Johnson calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Gary Cedarstrom is at first. Jim Wolf at second. Field and Colbreth down at third. Howie Kendrick steps in, looks at a first pitch strike. 1 for 3 in the series.
Nice and sunny, but they've got that wind blowing in today from right center field. That should help knock the ball down a little bit.
Yeah, there really wasn't any breeze to speak of until, as you pointed out, maybe half an hour before game time, it really started to pick up. The 1-1 pops straight up. On the infield, Kipnis backpedaling. And he's got that 2 away. Indians come in 10 wins, 9 losses. Tied for the top spot in the AL Central with the Detroit Tigers, who are 11-10. The Indians have played the fewest games in baseball.
Well, the day off tomorrow will be their 5th off day in April, and we had that one rainout with Chicago.
And the Indians will begin a stretch of 20 games in 20 days.
Yeah.
Starting with those first 3 in Chicago against the White Sox Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Hit to third by Albert Pujols. Jack Hanahan, routine play for him. And a 1-2-3 first inning for Derek Lowe. The Indians coming to bat against Irvin Santana when we return. Bottom of the first here at Progressive Field. Let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. It will be Michael Brantley at the top, followed by Jason Kipnis and Asdrubal Cabrera. Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, Jack Hanahan, then Shelley Duncan, Casey Kochman, and Aaron Cunningham batting ninth.
Urban Santana on the mound for the Angels this afternoon. He's looking for his first win. I mean, he has struggled himself this year, but he has got no run support. 2 runs in his first game, no run support the next 3. He has given up 10 home runs this year. 7 have been solo shots. But he becomes just the second Angel to allow multiple home runs in the first 4 starts of the season. The only other guy to do that is a Hall of Famer, by the way, Don Sutton.
Misses down low to Brantley. Michael 4 for 9 in the series with a couple of doubles. And as you saw in our starting lineup graphic, he has a hit in 11 of his last 12 games.
He's been swinging the bat very well recently. Using the whole field, starting to get a few breaks.
1-1, sails high, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, the last time Santana pitched in this ballpark, July 27th of last year, it was the no-hitter. But it was a strange no-hitter because he walked the first guy, Ezekiel Carrera. He stole second base, moved over to third on a grounder, and he scored on a wild pitch in the first inning. It was 1-0. And the Indians carried that lead. David Huff started that ball game, gave up a run in the 5th, and they ended up winning 3-1, but he ended up with a no-hitter.
Now the 2-2. Down low and a full count. Jason Kipnis waiting on deck. Payoff pitch to Brantley. Line drive, base hit into left field.
They take care of that in a hurry.
Brantley's 5th hit in the series, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard.
Michael's starting to use the whole field now, and it's really a good sign. He led off with a double yesterday down the left field line. There's a nice stroke. Doesn't try and do too much. Kept his hands back and just slapped it to left field. And the Indians will have their leadoff man aboard.
Brantley now with a hit in 5 straight. And Jason Kipnis steps in. And looks at a fastball for strike 1. Kipnis has hit in 3 straight. Going 6 for his last 18. Overall, 5 for 12 during his mini streak. Fouled out of play. It's 0-2. Brantley draws a throw, back with a dive. Michael has 2 steals so far on the year.
Iannetta had a pretty good day on Friday night throwing guys out. He had the day off yesterday. Back in there today.
A ball and 2 strikes for Kipnis. The Indians have gone 10 games now without hitting a home run.
Boy, it has been. They were on fire to start the year. Then all of a sudden, it's like a faucet. It was just shut off. Although, if you remember back in Oakland in the first inning on getaway day that Sunday, Chu hit the ball to left center field, just missed hitting the home run. Hafner hit a ball to right center field, just missed hitting the home run, and that's when it all started.
Mm-hmm. Technically, it started the game before the final game against Felix Hernandez in Seattle, but you're right, a couple of bad breaks. Hard hit ground ball. It gets by a diving Asturias, and Brantley stops at second. Back-to-back singles for the Indians to open the first, and another good piece of hitting by Jason Kipnis, who now has hit in 4 straight.
Almost like Asturis was getting a little closer to second base, thinking Brantley might take off, and he gets it under. You see how close he's playing to second? And Kipnis just gets enough of this ball to get it under his glove. You know, that goes to show you a couple steps here or there. That's the difference in a base hit or a double play.
You're not kidding.
And there's a base hit, so the Indians now off to a really good start. First and second, nobody out.
As Drupal Cabrera with 2 on and nobody out. Since coming off the bereavement list, as Drupal 7 hits and 20 at bats. Waves at an off-speed pitch. Cabrera had the game winner on Friday night in the bottom of the ninth as the Indians got their first walk-off win at home. Slowly tapped back to Santana. And an easy double play for the Angels. Brantley moves to third. This looked like Cabrera was a little over anxious in that at bat.
Let's take a look at the Angels' Home Depot defense this afternoon behind Santana. It's Wells in left, Trout in center, Hunter is in right. Trumbo at third, is Asturis at short. Kendrick is at second, Pujols at first, Iannetta behind the dish. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
See if Travis Hafner can get a 2-out RBI hit here in the first inning. Bronk 1 for 6 in the series. He's been a very patient hitter, though. Despite going just 2 for his last 15, he has drawn 5 walks.
It'll be interesting to see how teams approach pitching Bronk. If he continues to swing the bat like he is, you know, to pitch around him, and he will draw a lot more walks, I would think. But he's been very patient with a good eye.
Yanks it down the right side on out of play. Well, both Hafner and Santana have been very patient. They've both drawn 5 walks in their last on this homestand, and that's a big reason why the Indians have 99 walks as a team coming into today's action.
You know, with Chu being out, he's hopefully going to be back by the time we get to Chicago. I like Hafner in the number 4 hole instead of Santana, and I like Santana following Hafner, you know, the switch hitter to protect him. I like that better than the way it was set up earlier in the year. I don't know if Manny's going to keep it that way when Chu comes back, but if he does, the veteran, I like in the number 4 hole.
Manny was hoping to get Chu back in the lineup this weekend, but it's looking more now like we'll see him back in there Tuesday against Chicago. Up and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Michael Brantley's at third with 2 down here in the first. And he popped him up left field. Wells coming in, makes the catch. So the Indians get back-to-back hits to start the inning, but the rally fizzles. We are scoreless headed to the second. brought to you by McCafe Iced Coffee, brewed to perfection in vanilla, hazelnut, or caramel. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Kendry Morales leading off the second inning for the Angels takes a called strike from Derek Lowe. Morales DHing today for the Halos and has hit .267 on the young season as he fouls that back out of play. 1 for 6 in the series for Morales.
You would think it's going to take him a little while to get going after all the time he has missed with the ankle surgeries. Mm-hmm. You know, you just don't come right back. This guy put up some great numbers a couple of years ago for the Angels, but missed so much time. All on the heels of hitting a grand slam, game-winning home run, come to home plate and celebrated, and the rest is history. Broke his ankle, and the surgeries just never recovered from it.
Yeah, they thought he'd be back last year, but then he needed more surgery to further correct the problem.
And he was their legitimate guy in the lineup that could drive in runs.
Oh, after he chased those first two that were off the plate, that looked even closer. He holds up. And it's just a tad off the dish, 2-2. Up and in. The Angels have played 10 games at home, 11 games on the road. In those 10 games at home, Morales has 14 hits. In their 11 games on the road, he has just 2.
Like I said, Southern California weather a little better than it is out here in Ohio.
And he yanks it to right field just over the outstretched reach of Jason Kipnis.
That couldn't have been placed any better. That's like a quarterback just throwing it right over his head. He was playing pretty deep. And, I mean, watch this. This was just barely. It's in between him and Cunningham in right field. Unbelievable placement.
I like the football reference, like throwing over the linebacker in
right
front of the
over
safety.
The linebacker, dropping it in. That was a perfect swing. Let's put it that way.
The Angels have their leadoff man aboard here for Torrey Hunter. Torrey 3 for 8 in the series, 2 home runs. Both home runs, almost identical pitches, identical swings. He rips it right at Kochman, who gloves it. And that's a quick double play, and Hunter just skips right on into the Angels' dugout. He couldn't have hit it any harder.
Can't believe it. You know, he started with a hit and run yesterday, letting them go so they could stay out of the double play, and he hits one right on the nose and skipped into the dugout. Watch Hunter after he hits it, right into the line of Kochman. That's at least first and third if it gets by him, possibly second and third. And Hunter goes into the dugout into a double play.
He loves the ball away about as much as any right-handed hitter I've ever seen.
Well, right now he's not missing it.
No.
He's taking advantage of it, boy, and hitting it hard.
Mark Trumbo steps in, 1 for 5 in the series, looks at ball 1. Derek Lowe comes right back with a strike to even the count. And Trumbo waves at it, a ball and 2 strikes. Little tapper towards third. That's going to dribble foul. And Trumbo will come back. We'll try again. Trumbo has hit in 10 of the 13 games he's started this year. He's been on base safely 13 out of 14 games.
Well, there's a guy that they have to keep his bat in the lineup, and now he's playing third base. And Mike Scioscia, the way they've struggled, he has had 19 different lineups in 21 games, you know, trying to get everybody playing time. They're not scoring, but this is a guy they have to keep in there.
Right back to Lowe, and an easy play to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second, no score. Bottom of the second inning. Carlos Santana will lead off for the Indians. Then Jack Hanahan and Shelley Duncan against Irvin Santana. Santana's now allowed 30 hits in 24 and 2/3 innings on the year. Back-to-back singles to start the game for the Indians, but the double play took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, both teams into a double play early in this game.
And Santana takes a look at a strike over the outside part of the plate. Good off-speed pitch. Had him out in front. It's 0-2. Carlos 0 for 5 against Irvin Santana.
One thing Santana's doing early in this game, getting ahead of the hitters. Able to go out and try and make perfect pitches.
Down low, 2-2.
He has good stuff. Good fastball, nice slider, changeup as well. That win that he hit the Indians with last year, that was his first career win against the Tribe. 1-6 in his career.
Shatters the bat off the glove of Santana, and that's going to be an infield hit for Carlos.
Did him a favor. The barrel head of the bat is out past the pitcher's mound. He didn't field that ball cleanly, so for the second straight inning, the Indians will have their leadoff man aboard. There's Carlos's barrel of his bat. Shatters, but it goes right back up the middle, and the barrel follows. Santana on the mound didn't see it. And then once he deadens that ball, nobody was going to get there.
Rick, every pitcher goes into a game with his own game plan, playing to his strengths. But given how many walks the Indians have on the early part of the season, I mean, 17 more walks than the closest team to them, and they've played the fewest number of games.
Right.
Will the scouting report change for opposing teams facing this lineup? Do you think they'll start trying to challenge Indians hitters earlier in counts?
I don't see why they shouldn't. When a team is patient like that, you want to try and get ahead of them. Because what you can do, you can try to expand them. They did a good job yesterday against Herron. I'm talking about the Indians' offense. He got ahead of them, and they didn't swing at some really close pitches and still made him work. Not like they did Weaver the day before, but Herron was on his game yesterday. He was really throwing well.
Well, with Weaver, they had a lot of foul balls to keep at bats alive, and Herron probably had more swings and misses yesterday than Weaver did.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, the game plan would be, if I was a pitcher going at the Indians, I'd try and get ahead and expand it, make them swing at your pitch. But they've really done a good job this year at making pitchers work. As you mentioned, number 1 in the league in walks at 99, and they haven't struck out that much, only 141 times. Compared, to the walks, it's been like night and day compared to last year.
Much better ratio. 3-0 to Hanahan, and that's over for a strike. Jack 2 for 8 in the series.
Tommy already told me that yesterday they had 8 swings and misses off Herron.
And that's blooped toward left center. But it hangs up enough for Vernon Wells to run it down. 1 away. Our league leaders brought to you by your Cleveland-Akron area Lexus dealers. And Irvin Santana has given up 10
that's
already this year. Although, as you said, 7 solo shots?
7 solo out of the 10, yes. 2 2-runners and a 3-runner. Brandon Morrow for Toronto, 7. He's got good stuff. That's sort of surprising, too. But, if you're going to give up home runs, give up the solo shots. It's only 1 run. It's not a rally happening. It's 1 swing, and you still have the bases empty, and you get after it.
Shelley Duncan, 2 for 7 in the series. 1 on, 1 out here in the second. And he pops him straight up the chute. Iannetta, the catcher, in foul territory. 2 down. Today's injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. The Washington Nationals losing Ryan Zimmerman with a right shoulder sprain. And Bryce Harper called up, and in his Major League debut last night, did a terrific job. Had a sac fly, nearly threw out a runner at home plate. If the catcher holds onto the ball,
right,
they probably win that game.
Well, I mean, you talk about exposure. He was out in L.A., and, I mean, the media around him was just absolutely crazy for a kid just making his debut. You know, it was a little goofy. But he did, I mean, he handled himself well.
Matt Kemp spoiled Harper's debut with a game-winning homer for the Dodgers.
Walk off, extra innings, and he only has 11 home runs this year. He broke the Dodgers record for the month of April.
He's off to an unbelievable start this year.
Yeah, he and Ethier, they both have about 24 RBIs.
Came close to winning the Triple Crown a year ago, did Matt Kemp. 1-1 pitch. Kochman yanks it foul. Even though Ryan Braun of Milwaukee won the National League MVP award last season, a lot of people feel Matt Kemp is the best player in the National League.
He might be the best player in baseball right now. We don't get an opportunity to see him play, but, I mean, if you watch a little TV and you see the clips and the highlights and you talk to players, he can steal bases, he can play center field, he hit with power, he's a 5-tool guy.
Kochman looks at the ball, the dirt 2-2.
He came out this year and said, well, he just missed being a 40-40 guy last year. He says, I think I could be a 50-50 guy. And I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty big expectations. But there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
If you think you can do it, God bless you. Go get it. What he had the home runs. He didn't have the stolen bases.
He missed it by 1, didn't
he? Yes, he did.
There goes Santana. And Kochman fouls the 2-2 away left side. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Ervin Santana. And Kochman maybe was trying to shoot it the other way. And back out of play. Kochman 1 for 12 on the homestand. And in his career against Ervin Santana, 2 for 12. Not many Indians in this lineup today have had success against Santana. A lot of that is due to the fact that he no-hit him a year ago. 2-2. Because most of these hitters haven't faced him a lot. Hafner has the most at-bats in the lineup today, and he's 4 for 26.
Wow.
Aaron Cunningham waits on deck, hoping for a chance here in the second inning. Ervin Santana with the payoff pitch. Carlos Santana takes off, and Kochman pops it in the air. Fairly deep to center, but Trout makes the catch, and the inning is over. No score through 2. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bright sunshine today here at Progressive Field. A little cool with that wind blowing in off the lake.
They're going to be happy out in the sunshine at least.
Bottom third of the Angels order here. Vernon Wells, Maicer Izturis, and Chris Iannetta. Wells takes a strike. It's 1-1. Vernon Wells has 4 home runs to lead the Angels. There is Kipnis shading him up the middle to make the easy play. 1 down. Let's check in for the first time today with our Katie Witham.
Well, guys, the Tribe trainers had Shin-Soo Choo out running in the field before the game, running him through some more tests. I caught up with him afterwards. He told me today is the best that he's felt. Tomorrow, he will be back here at the ballpark on his day off doing some more treatment, but he feels he should be able to go on Tuesday.
Boy, you certainly hope so, because they've been playing short here these last couple homestands or these last couple of series, and boy, you need him.
Well, Rick, you think about it. They're playing short without him right now because he's not on the DL. And before that, when Asdrubal Cabrera was on the bereavement list, they called up Nick Hagedorn to replace him. So they were playing short on their bench.
Yeah.
Those last 2 series on the recent road trip. So Manny Acta has been having to make do with a very short bench. 3-1 the count to Izturis. And I guess it was low, ball 4. First walk issued by Lowe. 1 on, 1 out here in the third for Chris Iannetta. Take a look at our trivia question today, brought to you by AT CLE. The only player to be in the starting lineup of the losing team in 3 perfect games. Wow.
Huh.
There's only been, 21 perfect games.
Right.
Right back by Iannetta.
Boy, that'll make you put your thinking cap on, won't it?
One ball, 1 strike for Iannetta. 0 for 2 on Friday night. Iannetta has 11 hits on the year. 6 of those have gone for extra bases, 4 doubles, and 2 home runs. Runner goes. And it hit him out of the box,
he
so
should
he
be
is
out. He should be out. Yes, he is. He was out of the batter's box. No question. Good call.
The runner will have to go back to first.
Yes, he was out of the box. You know, most of the times when that ball hits, you see him. But that ball went high enough. He took off, and he was out of both bats. Yeah.
I think it hit him on the back.
It did.
Popped up over his head. He tried to duck under it.
I mean, you watch this. A lot of times you'll see it bounce up and get him. But that one he had to reach for. So he takes off, and there it was, off his back. He was out in front of home plate. This way we'll get a better angle. You can see where it hit him. Right there, and he's out of the batter's box. And home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, he was right on it. We'll go 2 unassisted.
Mike Trout grounded to short his first time up.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, do you? Normally they call it, no, it hits you in the batter's box, just a strike.
That was just weird because the ball went right down on the ground and popped up so high. Maybe Iannetta lost track of it.
I'll bet he did.
That's also one of those plays too, Rick, when the ball goes right down in the dirt and it literally is sitting right there at home plate. The catcher's got to be careful not to run over the hitter trying to grab the ball, because then you get catcher's interference, and he gets the base. Throw down to second, off the mark, into center field it goes. And off to third is Torres with a steal. And the errant throw by Santana affords him third base.
You know, he got rid of it quickly, but the footwork, he wanted to get up, and we've seen him throw from his knees. Look, he gets halfway up. That back foot never really got in position to throw. You know, you've got to turn sideways. That's why that ball took off on him into center field. It sailed on him. His footwork never really got behind the ball to throw. Front shoulder was open.
Outside, it's 3-1 now for Mike Trout. Ripped to third. Hanahan gloves it to end the inning. Second line drive hit by the Angels today right at an Indians defender. Middle of the third, no score. All right, we go down to the bottom half of the third inning here at Progressive Field. Aaron Cunningham to lead it off, then Michael Brantley and Jason Kipnis. Indians have 3 hits through the first 2 frames off Irvin Santana. Misses up high, ball 1. And their leadoff man aboard in each of the first 2 innings. Out of play to the right. And Cunningham down on the count 0-2. Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Cunningham. Up high. Now the 1-2. Almost chased after it. 40 pitches for Santana. 23 of those for strikes. He's behind Cunningham. He delivers, and it's popped in the air. Shallow right. Torrey Hunter comes in to make the grab. 1 away. Once again, let's head down and check in with Katie Witham.
3, 2. Hey guys, the brand new Kids Clubhouse is opening 1 week from today. That's Sunday, May 6th. It's also KeyBank Kids Fun Day. It's up on the mezzanine level, completely renovated. You've got wiffle ball, batting cages. The whole family can enjoy it. Log on to Indians.com and get your tickets for it now. Guys.
Okay, thanks, Katie. Michael Brantley in opposite field hit his first time up. Takes a strike from Santana. And that evens the count. And Santana jumps back ahead with the off-speed pitch. And that fastball rings him up. It looked high. Brantley takes issue with the call, but it's the first strikeout for Santana, though it did not look like a very good pitch. Take a look at our University Hospitals minor league update. Matt Laporta, 2 for 2, scored 3 times, had a double, hitting .389 in his first 19 games for the Clippers with 6 home runs and 6 doubles. Jason Kipnis singled his first time up. He takes a called strike. And Santana quickly ahead 0-2. Kipnis pops it up. And the shortstop Pisturez has it. Indians go 1-2-3. We head to the 4th, no score. Fourth inning, no score. Howie Kendrick, Albert Pujols, Kendry Morales coming up for the Angels. Derek Lowe, 40 pitches through the first 3 innings, and a first pitch strike to Kendrick. Lowe has 5 ground ball outs thus far, and it's 0-2 to Kendrick. Liner to short, picked on one hop by Cabrera, and a perfect throw to get him. Oh, the nice soft hands by Cabrera, able to take a rocket shot off the bat of Kendrick and turn it into an out.
Nice soft hands, but watch the footwork as well as he gets up quickly and watch, just pushes it up, spins, and already in position to throw and just lobs it over there. Made it look very easy. Tough short hop. The spin, the turn, the throw gets him. Nice play by Cabrera.
Now Albert Pujols, a ground out his first time up. 2 for 9 in the series for the Angels' first baseman.
Well, the Indians have done a good job pitching him because they've been pounding the strike zone against him with about a 66% clip throwing strikes.
He blisters one at Cabrera. But again, is Dribble equal to the task, able to throw him out. 2 down.
Hit hard, right on the nose, but a one-hopper. That's just like taking it before batting practice. That's the Sunday hop.
And now Kendry Morales, who beat the shift with a line drive single to right his first time up.
Yeah, he didn't beat it on the ground. He beat it in the air. How he can bloop it over Kipnis' head and in front of Cunningham and right.
1 ball, 1 strike. And weekly tap. Cabrera ranging a long way with that shift on. Perfect throw. And Asdrubal assisting on all 3 outs here in the 4th. 9 pitches. The Angels go in order. Some young fans here at the ball yard this afternoon as the Indians try to take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. No score, bottom of the 4th. Heart of the order due up as Dribble Cabrera to lead off. And Irvin Santana gets ahead with an off-speed pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, and both these pitchers pounding the strike zone.
Fastball up and in to even the count. Checked his swing and fouled it over top of the Indians' dugout. 1-2. Yankees have jumped out to a 2-0 lead over the Tigers in the 2nd inning in the Bronx. Detroit and the Indians tied atop the Central Division standings coming in. White Sox will be in action in a little while at home against Boston. Boy, the Red Sox starting to heat up. As Cabrera is rung up, another high pitch, and another Indians hitter doesn't like the call.
Well, he's starting to get warmed up. He's getting ahead, and that's what he's going with. Pitches up in the strike zone. Let's see around the belt. He's going up top. That's right around belt high. That's top part. Hitters are probably saying it can't get much higher than that, but it's right there.
Second strikeout for Santana. 1 down for Travis Hafner, who flied to left his first time up. That's up high, 2-0. By the way, I was talking about the Red Sox heating up. They've won 6 in a row, and the White Sox have dropped 5 straight. Hafner, a hard ground ball to first. But an easy play for Albert Pujols, 2 down.
Well, you may want to head down to Progressive Field on Saturday. That'll be May 5th for an Indian season ticket select-a-seat event. All fans who buy 2 or more full season seats will receive complimentary Cubs seats for that night's game. Plus also plenty of excitement and always good baseball down here this year. Stop by on May 5th between 3 and 5 and secure your seats.
Now Carlos Santana, who shattered his bat but got an infield single his first time up, steps in. He drills one to center. Trout on the run. Dives, can't get it. It's going to skip by him all the way to the warning track. And Santana into second base with a 2-out double.
He did the same thing yesterday. Now, this is the young man that was just called up, Mike Trout, who's, 20 years old? He did it yesterday in left field where you dive for a ball. There's 2 outs in the inning. Your pitcher's throwing a pretty good ball game. You don't want to give an extra base. He wasn't going to get there. And I know it's good hustle, but use your head. You play back, you give him the single, and you make a double half to score him. Now a single can bring Santana in. And it was, I think, a little too far away to really dive for that ball. So Santana credited with a double.
And Jack Hanahan at the plate, flied to left his first time up. And a swing and a miss. Yeah, you mentioned Mike Trout, who is the second youngest player in the major leagues at 20 years, 8 months, 22 days. The only guy younger is Bryce Harper, who we talked about, made his debut
yesterday. You know, I see good effort, and I like the hustle. You don't want to say anything, but, I mean, it's using your head. It's situation. The scoreboard dictates when you should make plays like that.
Downstairs, 1-1. Our stat of the game is brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, Hanahan has been a monster so far this year. 7 for 12.
Well, and there's a case in point right there. Santana should be on first base. If he's going to get a base hit here, make it at least be a double, not a single.
That's down low, 2 balls and a strike. Hanahan trying to deliver the first run of this game.
And I am sure when they go into the dugout, you'll have a guy, a 9-time Gold Glover like Torrey Hunter, talk to him and explain it to him as somebody like Vernon Wells. He's got a lot of experience as far as center fielders go on his side.
Well, that's the other thing, too, here. With Santana running at second, it's not a guarantee that a base hit to the outfield gets him home here.
Well, pretty close. You're going to send him if you're Steve Smith, that's for sure. That ball hits the outfield grass. But I know what you're saying. The chance is Hunter's got a good arm in right. Wells is a good arm from left field. I haven't seen enough of Trout to say what kind of arm he has. But that's all part of the learning process. You know, he played left field yesterday. He did the same thing on Brantley's double leading off the game. Dove for the ball, was nowhere near it.
2 down, a runner at second. The 3-1 pitch. And Hanahan pops it foul over towards first. So a full count. Hanahan leads the Indians with 14 runs batted in. And as you saw on that graphic, 11 of his 14 ribbies have come in these 2-out situations.
Clutch. Toughest hit to get in baseball, the 2-out base hit to drive home a run.
The 3-2. Inside, it's ball 4. That's the 100th walk on the year for the Indians. 2 on, 2 out. Shelley Duncan coming up before he climbs in. Let's send you back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Rick. Let's head out to New York. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. A-Rod, little dribbler to third. Cabrera can't make the play. It scores a run. That's the 1,903rd RBI of A-Rod's career. Ties him with Willie Mays on the all-time list. 2-0 Yankees. Third inning in New York. Matt?
Okay, Al. Here is Shelley Duncan. popped one straight up at home plate his first time today. And looks at a ball down low. Two on, two out. Yeah, a swing and a miss. Ball popped loose from Ionetta's grasp, but nobody advancing.
That's what you call a high slider.
Mm-hmm.
That may have been too high. Certainly was a ball if he takes it.
Back out of play. And Duncan down on the count now, 1-2. Santana doubled the center with 2 outs. Then Hanahan drew the walk. And now Shelley Duncan down on the count, trying to deliver. And he pops him up again. And the shortstop, Isturez, has it. And the Indians strand a pair. Through 4, no score in Cleveland. A Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. Derek Lowe delivers down low to Torrey Hunter as we start the 5th inning. And 3 starts at home now on the year. Derek Lowe has allowed 1 earned run in 17 innings of work. He's got the ground ball working today. Close, didn't get the call, 2-1. Torrey Hunter had a BB to first base his first time up, and Casey Kochman was able to grab it, step on the bag for a double play. 2-2. Now he chops one to first. And Kochman will go to the bag, 1 away. Carlos Santana behind the plate has been an Iron Man so far this year for the Tribe. With more on that, let's go down to Katie with him.
Yeah, guys, he hasn't taken much time off at all. You know, today, 17 out of 20 games, he's been behind the dish. And, you know, you talked about how beat up he's gotten. The Indians pitching staff has had 13 wild pitches, a heck of a lot more in the dirt. Interesting enough, though, Sandy Alomar told me the cold weather lately has actually helped him because the chilly weather keeps him fresh and keeps that stamina.
All right, Katie, Mark Trumbo grounds out 2 down here in the 5th inning. And as we've talked about before with Carlos Santana, I mean, he's still learning a lot of the nuances of the catching position.
Yeah.
And Sandy Alomar is right there alongside him, talking to him through a lot of it.
And you remember last year they were playing him at first base a lot of times too, and Marson was getting a lot of games behind the plate. And you're right, Katie, when it's cool like this, it doesn't affect you like it does in the heat of the summer, where it's 85, 90 degrees, and it wears you out. You lose 8 to 10 pounds in a start behind the dish.
Get some of those humid starts. Popped him up, right field. Cunningham makes the catch. You can see the wind really push that ball toward the line. An 8-pitch 5th inning for Derek Lowe. He's cruising right along. No score, middle of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning. No score here at Progressive Field. Both pitchers pounding the strike zone.
Yeah,
Santana's had to work out a little more trouble than Derek Lowe, but not much more.
Very efficient. But Lowe has had an 8 and a 9 pitch inning. You have to love that.
Kochman with a bouncer to second. And Howie Kendrick throws him out and 1 away.
Well, baseball and 14 fireworks nights will light up the sky this season, including 2 Rock and Blast nights. And the first fireworks show of this season will take over Friday night. That's right, when we come home. Texas Rangers are in town. Music from the 2012 Rock Hall of Fame inductees. Log on to Indians.com for dates and tickets. Let's hear already fireworks.
Aaron Cunningham takes a strike, flied to right his first time up. Cunningham, 5 hits in his last 18 at-bats. One and one the count on the 70th pitch of the game for Ervin Santana. 42 of his pitches thus far have been for strikes. Bouncer between third and short. Backhanded by Isturiz, and the long throw not in time. Cunningham able to beat it out, hustling down the line for an infield single.
Yeah, he got down the line pretty well right there. You know, I was looking at Isturiz at short. He got to the ball and did his thing. He planted and makes a throw, but watch Cunningham. He's off and running. Here comes a throw across, and he beats it out. So that's getting down the line pretty well. Earned himself an infield single. Put your head down, don't look, and get through the bag. He does just that, and he gets a base hit.
So 1 on, 1 out for Michael Brantley. Singled his first time up, then he was called out on strikes on what he thought was a high pitch in the third. That's in the dirt for ball one. Michael 5 hits in the series. That one down low, and Iannetta did a nice job to backhand it. Back-to-back pitches in the same spot.
Well, that's good. Missed your zone down in the end. Maybe overthrowing a little bit.
And now he's up and away with it. 3 balls, no strikes. As patient as Brantley is, Rick, you almost expect him to take 1, if not 2 strikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him take 2 unless you get one right down the middle of the plate. The way he's been swinging it, though, he may look for that fastball, but he's not going to have to worry about it.
It's ball 4, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Hey, tonight on Sports Time Ohio, Bruce Drennan will wrap up the Cleveland Browns draft on All Bets Are Off. Then tomorrow night at 8, Jim, Tony, and Doug will take your calls and emails during the Browns Red Zone. Wall-to-wall draft coverage wrapping up right here on STO.
Okay, that's over it. Good. Forget the draft. Long gone.
Jason Kipnis bounces at first base side, just foul. Now, Albert Pujols was chasing over, but it was maybe a foot foul.
Yeah, definitely foul.
Kipnis, an opposite field single in the first, popped up his last time up. And that's outside, 1-1. Indians just 1 for 7 so far today with a runner on base. Trying to ignite a rally here in the 5th. And that rolls foul. Jason with that first inning base hit has hit in 4 straight games now. Cunningham at second with Brantley at first. Inside almost drilled him, and it's 2-2.
That's what he's trying to do. He gets 2 strikes, power that fastball up and maybe inside. But, you know, he lost his release point after the base hit by Cunningham that beat it out on the infield. He didn't even come close to Brantley. He just sort of lost it.
Now he steps away, going to rub up the baseball. Two on, 1 out, and a 2-2 pitch coming to Kipnis. And he is out looking. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 3rd strikeout for Santana. All 3 have been called 3rd strikes. Here's our great clip of the game from Friday night as Drupal Cabrera with the game winner in the bottom of the 9th. Giving the Indians the win, their first walk-off. Yeah, great clips. It's going to be great. Cabrera was up in the first with the first 2 on and nobody out, and he tapped one right back to the mound for a double play. Now trying to get the tough 2-out RBI hit.
A little changeup, not the pitch you want to swing at on the first pitch of the at-bat. Is a
Same thing in his first at-bat.
You know,
first pitch changeup had him out in front.
I mean, unless he picks it up, he thinks it's a fastball, but you know, way out in front, he's not picking up the rotation on the ball or something like that, because you want to sit. If you're going to get after that first pitch, I have no problem with it, but make sure it's a fastball.
That's a fastball, but again, in off the plate. He's done that to a number of hitters. 1-1 the count. This is outside, 2 balls and a strike. The Indians stranded a runner in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the fourth. They've got 2 on here in the fifth. Looking for some 2-out lightning. And Cabrera evens the count of 2-2.
3, 4, and 5 hitters have been doing the number against Santana this year, hitting at a 469 clip. But when you look at today, both Cabrera and Hafner have struggled, although Santana does have a pair of hits.
Looped, left field, slicing, foul. Iannetta goes out to the mound to talk with Santana as the runners return to their bases. Meanwhile, Asdrubal Cabrera talking at home plate with Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire. Remember, Cabrera was called out on strikes in the fourth inning, and he thought it was a high pitch. And now Pujols goes over and has a chat with Irvin Santana. Everybody putting their 2 cents worth in before this 2-2 delivery. High pop right field. Torrey Hunter. Lost it in the sun. Cunningham scores. Here comes Brantley. 2-0 Cleveland. Hunter just lost it at about the last, Rick, I'd say maybe the last 2 seconds. It looked like he was tracking it the whole way. And then right at the very end, he just couldn't find it. It never came out of the sun, as they say.
That seems like eternity. When you're an outfielder, you know there are runners on bases. He has the glasses on, and he had it. You're right. Look at him. He cannot believe it. There's the glasses. A lot of times you'll use the glove to shade the sun. It goes up, but he couldn't pick it up. It had to be right dead smack middle in the sun. And boy, did the Indians catch a break, because that'll go as a 2-run double, I would think. But both runners score.
No, they give him an error, do they? That's what Tommy Bo's telling us. So it's a 2-run error on Torrey Hunter on a ball that it almost hit him in the forearm.
Well, obviously the play should be made, but you can't catch what you can't see.
Well, isn't that something, though? Torrey Hunter
of all
has
people
done a lot of taking away from the Indians in this series.
Well,
even the great ones can't overcome that giant ball of fire in the sky.
No. And that had to be smack dab in the middle. But, boy, the Indians catch a break. And with 2 outs, they'll take a 2-0 lead. That is a huge break. I mean, there you'll see the sky. It's blue. But, I mean, when that ball was coming down, I guarantee it was smack dab middle in the sun.
Now Travis Hafner takes on the outside corner strike.
I think then the pitching coach just goes out to talk to him to settle him down. Don't get too upset. Don't give up anymore. Get through this. Not much you could do. You made your pitch.
Hafner flied to left in the first, grounded to first base in the fourth. Takes downstairs 1-1. That's way outside. 2 balls and a strike. So as Drupal Cabrera with the sky-high pop to right to Torrey Hunter, lost in the sun, and the Indians take advantage and grab a 2-0 lead here in the 5th. 90th pitch of the day now for Santana coming up right here. Hafner fists it to center field. Trout is there. He'll make the catch to end the inning. But the Indians have the lead 2-0 as we go to the 6th. Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone to an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Going to the 6th inning now here. It's a 2-0 Indians lead. And Derek Lowe pitching a dandy so far. 57 pitches through the first 5 innings. And he's retired 8 straight.
Well, that's the way you have to pitch today, I guess, on the ground. Don't put it up in the air. That's how the Indians got on the board in the sun ball.
Well, it was not lost on Aaron Cunningham what happened to Torrey Hunter, because as Cunningham went out to right field, he spent the half inning checking the sun, shading his eyes with the glove, just trying to see how he could avoid a potential disaster out there himself.
You do that every inning when you go out there as an outfielder. The wind, you check the wind, the sun, everything, because it changes.
And a strike to Isturiz, 3-1 to count. Remember, Lowe walked Isturiz his first time up, and that's the only walk allowed by Lowe. Swings away on the 3-1 pitch. Kochman on the short hop, grabs it, goes to the bag, and we've got out number 1 here in the 6th. Well, the Indians' defense has been busy thanks to Derek Lowe, who's been keeping the ball down, and they've been beating it into the ground. You get a line drive double play right there. Another liner to third caught by Hanahan. And then a whole slew of ground balls. Drupal Cabrera was busy in that 4th inning, recording 3 assists.
Anytime Lowe is on the mound, he gets the ball. He doesn't mess around. He gets after it. He delivers it to the plate. You're ready. Josh Tomlin, the same boat. The faster you work, the better your defense is going to be behind you.
Another ground ball. This one to Hanahan. Throws out the catcher, Ionetta, 2 down. The AT&T trivia question. This was a good one today. I like this one. The only player to be in the starting lineup of the losing team in 3 perfect games.
How about Alfredo Griffin?
How do you like that?
Tom Browning, Dennis Martinez, and Lenny Parker. That's right. He was with Toronto. That's right, with L.A. against Browning and Martinez. Very good. That's a good question.
Mike Trout 0 for 2. Shortened a bunt, took a strike.
He started in the Indians organization, Alfredo Fettuccini.
Line to right. Cunningham fell down, makes the catch. Oh, baby, are you kidding me? We just talked about Cunningham and the fact that right field is a tough sun field. We didn't think about the footing. He went down, recovered, and made the catch. Two nothing Indians. Home half of the sixth. Carlos Santana will lead it off for the Indians against Irvin Santana. Now Aaron Cunningham made a terrific recovery out there in right field to end.
They can joke about it right now. You see Michael Brantley over there. That's a scary situation. Well, that's one way of keeping the sun out of your eyes. Fall on the ground.
Carlos Santana takes a strike. Usually when you see an outfielder lose his footing like that, it spells disaster. Very rarely can a guy recover and make the play like he did, because that ball wasn't like that was a pop-up. It's
a good thing he did, because this Trout kid can run. If he gets down and gets over his head, that could have been an inside the Parker.
Tale of two right fielders. Santana checked. It's down low.
Well, completely different from yesterday, where you never even sniffed the sun. It was just cold, miserable, and, drizzly day. And today it's a nice, bright blue sky and nothing but sunshine.
Well, that just further illustrates you can be a great player. I mean, a great player. Torrey Hunter's a great outfielder. Bushel full and 9 gold gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Even a great one, sometimes you just get it in that sun, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, it can happen to anybody, and he has enough games in this ballpark where he knows. It's not like this is first, second time coming here.
He's played 76 career games here in Cleveland. That's his first error.
There you go. Well, it could be a costly one.
Up high, full count. Now, most of those 76 games were in center field.
Yeah, he never started playing right field until just last year when Peter Borges came in.
It's hit pretty well to left. Back goes well, still going back, and he'll pull it down in the middle of the warning track, one away. Highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Torrey Hunter out there in right field. He knew it was going to be a tough sun field, and then his worst fears came to fruition with 2 on base. And then Aaron Cunningham with a little slip down recovery I got it. No problem.
He got up in a hurry, man, from landing on his butt. He got up.
Pop-up slide.
Yeah, it was. I bet his heart skipped a couple beats there as well.
Jack Hanahan walked his last time up. Hard ground ball to first. Pujols will go himself. White Sox lead the Red Sox 3-0. They're in the second in Chicago. Twins lead the Royals 3-0 in the first in Minnesota. With an update on that White Sox game, let's go back to the studios with an in-game update. Here's Al.
All right, Matt, the White Sox wearing their kind of interesting red pinstripe jerseys today, and Adam Dunn taking out a two-run homer here in the first inning off Josh Beckett. That's his 5th of the year. White Sox score all 3 in the first, and they are indeed up 3-0. Second inning now in Chi-Town. Back to you, Matt.
Oh, throwback look there for the White Sox.
75, they used to wear, I think, the white jerseys with the stripes, if I'm not mistaken.
Right before those ill-fated softball-looking unis they broke out.
Yeah, I think that was 77. The blue ones with the lapels and the shorts.
The shorts. I mean, seriously. Duncan sends one high in the air. Right field. Torrey Hunter.
No problem.
He's got that one.
They get him once. You won't get him again.
Indians go in order. We go to the 7th. 2-0 Tribe.
Progressive Field. Don't forget, 6 days from now, the Indians will be back. It'll be a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The first 15,000 fans that get through the doors on May 5th, you're going to get a free Chris Perez jersey. Make sure you're here, and then also come back on Sunday. 1 week from today, the brand new Kids Clubhouse will be opening. It's 4,000 square foot indoor playground. Go online. You can get your tickets, Indians.com.
7th inning here at Progressive Field, and a 2-0 Indians lead. Howie Kendrick leading off for the Angels.
12 of the 19 batters today for the Angels have seen 3 pitches or less off Derek Lowe. Started this inning with just 66 pitches. That's pitching to contact, Matt. That's the key right there, isn't it? That's what you want to see.
Yeah, Mycera Stur is the only guy who's really had at-bats where he's been ahead in counts today. He's had 3 ball counts in both his at-bats, drew a walk and then grounded out, but he's made these Angels hitters get up there and swing the bats.
Yeah, 14 ground ball outs. You got to love that.
The 3-1 pitch to Howie Kendrick, taking. It's a full count. Right back to the screen.
That's the one thing the Angels haven't done, at least to this point. Second to last of the league in walks. They've only drawn 77 as a team. So, you know, they're getting aggressive, and you would think they would walk more, but they're not. They're swinging at pitches maybe a little around the zone, outside the zone.
Swung on and missed, and Kendrick strikes out. First K for Lowe today.
That's good. I'd rather see him with the ground ball outs and 3 pitches or less. And it looks like Kendrick helps him out with the breaking ball here. A slider down. It's actually a really good pitch. Teasing that strike zone. If it was awfully close, and it's a tough one to lay off when you're the hitter.
Well, even though you and I had the day off from our duties yesterday, we still were watching the ball game at home, and I thought it was really interesting, the comments made by Mickey Hatcher, the Angels hitting coach, when he said that their biggest problem so far this year has been when they've been in hitters' counts, when they've had the count in their favor. He feels like they've expanded their strike zone too much. They've chased balls in 2-1 counts and 3-1 counts and gotten themselves out.
Instead of being disciplined. That doesn't surprise me. That's over-aggressive. And usually you see that a lot in younger hitters, not veteran hitters. But this is a very aggressive team. And this is the guy that in the middle of the lineup that they thought was going to do everything and everybody could ride his coattails. But now that he's struggling, everybody else is trying to do more than they're capable of doing instead of just getting on base and let the train move along. That's so true with any team. You know, take your walk, let the next guy do it. Trust the next guy. That's why he's changed lineups 19 out of 21 games. He would love to just go out there and set that same lineup out there every day, but he hasn't been able to do it to this point.
2-2 the count to Pujols. And he grounds it to third. It's a fair ball. Long throw for Hanahan. Got him. Jack Hanahan delivers a strike all the way across the diamond for out number 2.
You don't have a much farther throw to make with your Hanahan, and Lowe, another good slider down. Not much you could do with that ball but beat it in the ground. And look he's at the very tip of the third base coach, or the line all the way back. Another ground ball out.
That's right back through the box for a base hit. Kendry Morales has the Angels' only 2 hits of this game. Skipped it right off the top of the mound, it looked like, and into center field. So Morales is 2 for 3. Everybody else in the Angels lineup today is 0 for. The only other base runner they had was the walk drawn by Isturiz in the third.
Yeah, they've had 2 2-0 counts that they're 0 for 2 on, and they've had 3 full counts, and they're 1 for 3.
Yeah, so to Hatcher's point that he made yesterday, 1 for 5. When you've got the count in your favor, that's not what you're looking for. Well, Torrey Hunter 0 for 2. He's a dangerous hitter, and he can do a lot of damage with one swing of the bat. He was trying to right there, and it's 1-1.
He likes the ball over the plate. That one's up a little too much for him. He likes it down a little bit more, about belt high, where he can extend the arms and shoot it out to right field.
Too far out, 2-1. Right-hander Kevin Jepson warming for the Angels. Derek Lowe about to make his 84th pitch of the day. And a called strike. That single by Morales snapped a string of 13 in a row, retired by Derek Lowe. And now this Sunday afternoon crowd appreciative of the job he's done so far. And now a bouncer to third. Hanahan will go across the field, and that'll end the inning. Great job by Derek Lowe here this afternoon. 7 shutout innings in the book. Stretch time in Cleveland, and the 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Call 216-444-CARE for an appointment today. look in from our Panini's camera. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Indians 2, Angels nothing. Bottom of the 7th, it will be Casey Kochman, Aaron Cunningham, and Michael Brantley for the Tribe. Derek Lowe talking with pitching coach Scott Radinsky. He has turned in another tremendous performance here today.
Yeah, he's been very efficient. Pitch count-wise, getting guys to swing the bat. He's been fun to watch. Really, by all rights, this should be a 0-0 ball game because Santana's matched him. He's been pretty good himself. The one error by Torrey Hunter allowed the 2 runs to score for the Indians in the 5th. That's the difference in the game.
Derek Lowe has used 85 pitches through 7 innings, and Santana will start the bottom of the 7th at 101. We saw Kevin Jepson warming in the Angels bullpen. So we'll see how long Mike Scioscia stays with Santana here. He might have told him, you get a base runner, that's going to be it. One ball and 2 strikes, the count on Kochman, who is 0 for 2 today. Line drive, base hit into right field for Kochman. Well, here's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. It's been a pitcher's duel except for this with 2 outs, 2 runners scored on what looked to be a routine pop fly to right, but Torrey Hunter lost it in the sun, and the Indians lead it 2-0. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Now Aaron Cunningham. 4-6, not a double play though. Cunningham able to beat it down the line. So he's at first with 1 out. Oh, what do you say? You make a tee time to watch Jimmy Hanlon during the Golf Zone, driven by Mentor Kia. He'll take your calls and emails while improving your game and updating you on the PGA circuit. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy tonight at 9, only on STO.
I may have to call Jimmy tonight and get a few tips. How you hit a golf ball in this weather.
Seems like forever since we played, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Brantley rips it into right field. Cunningham will stop at second. Hunter got to it quickly. And the Indians have 2 on with 1 out.
Okay, Michael continues. Now he just turned on that inside fastball. We'll see if...
He's got 2 hits today.
Yes, he does. 2 for 3. Walked the other time up, and he went down and hit a pretty good pitch. See if Scioscia comes out. Makes a move now, or he's going to let Santana face Kipnis.
Looks like he's going to stay with him.
Okay.
Thought he was poised to take one more step up the dugout and head out, but he's going to stay with his starter. Kipnis 1 for 3. Called out on strikes his last time up and looks at strike 1.
You know, the way their bullpen is going, it doesn't surprise you he's staying with the starter, too. Giving Santana a chance to get out of what he worked himself into.
Popped in the air to center. Back goes Trout. Now he's shading his eyes from the sun. Makes the catch. And the runners hold with 2 down now. Well, Rick, our crowd today of 15,421. That is the 3rd largest home crowd this season, behind only opening day and then game 2 against Toronto, which was 18,000. So a beautiful Sunday afternoon, a little chilly, but lots of sunshine here at Progressive Field. As Drupal Cabrera 0 for 3. But it was his fly ball to right field that Hunter lost in the sun that allowed the Indians to grab the 2-0 lead in the 5th.
Yes, it was. This situation back in the 5th.
Bounce to first. Pujols, the flip, and that'll end the inning. We move to the 8th. Cleveland 2, and the LA Angels nothing.
Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Two 0 Indians. 8th inning. Mark Trumbo to lead off for the Angels, and Derek Lowe misses down low for ball 1. Two-hit shutout for Derek Lowe to this point in the game, and both hits have come off the bat of Kendry Morales.
Yeah, 14 ground ball outs. Cabrera has 5 assists, Hanahan 4. Kochman has a pair. Kipnis and Lowe has 1 himself.
That's back out of play. A ball and 2 strikes.
He's had a pretty good slider today as well. He's been able to throw that pitch, a tantalizing pitch, just out of the strike zone or just off the plate. He's been able to get swings and misses and ground balls with it.
A little bit low. And a foul ball at the plate by Trumbo. Yankees lead the Tigers 3-1. They're in the 5th in the Bronx. Indians and Tigers began the day tied for the top spot in the AL Central. On this, the final game of the month for the Indians. White Sox shutting out Boston 3-0. They're in the 3rd in the Windy City. Twins lead the Royals 4-1. They're in the 3rd at Target Field. Minnesota trying to stop a 6-game losing streak. Back to the screen, just off the end of the bat by Trumbo. 8th pitch of the at-bat for Trumbo. This will be number 9 coming up right here. He's one of the few Angels who's been able to get deep into a count against Lowe today. He pops him straight up behind the plate. Santana. He's got it. 1 away. Well, it's now Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Derek Lowe, as Rick mentioned, he's had the ground ball working. He's had his defense on their toes all day long, and they have made some terrific plays. At one point, Lowe retired 13 Angels in a row. Now Vernon Wells 0 for 2, looks at a ball down low. Now the 2-0. A little bit inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Vinny Pistano just now getting loose in the Tribe pen. Wells taking all the way, looks at a strike. This will be pitch number 99 for Derek. And Lowe hits a high drive left center. Calling for it is Brantley. He's got it, 2 down. Back to the studios once again for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Matt, back to New York we go. The Yanks have chased Max Scherzer after 4 2/3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Granderson deep to right center. His counterpart, Austin Jackson, tremendous effort. Got the glove on it over the wall, but couldn't bring it back. Home run for Granderson. 3-1 New York. It's his 8th of the year, 2nd in the AL. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Maicer Izturis 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes a look at ball 1 outside. Misses down low. 2 balls, no strikes. In there, 2-1. So he's fallen behind the last couple of hitters. And a 3-1 to Izturis. A little bit outside, ball 4. He's walked him twice.
Right. The same guy's got, one guy's got 2 hits, and he's walked the same guy twice.
The only base runners today for the Angels. And with 2 outs, Chris Iannetta 0 for 2 coming to the plate. Pistano starting to heat up now in that Tribe bullpen. He'll be ready if needed. Santana's going to go out to the mound for a brief chat. And while we have a moment, I want to send along deepest condolences to the family of Greg Stoops in Ashland, Ohio. Greg passed away last night at the age of just 46. Our deepest sympathies to Greg's wife, Jen, and his daughters, Emma and Sarah, his mom, Janet, and his brother, Rob, and lots of family and friends feeling pretty low today in Ashland, Ohio, but just wanted them to know that we're thinking about them. Derek Lowe has pitched a gem here today, and Scott Radinsky just going out to talk to him, and he got Pistano ready in that bullpen now.
Well, he's fallen behind, like you said, the last 3 hitters. So, where he was so aggressive, he may be out of gas. Things starting to get up in the strike zone.
Inside, 2-0 to Iannetta.
Now they're starting. It looks like he complained on that one. He's getting something from Adrian Johnson right back.
Line to right center. Cunningham going to try to cut it off. He will. On his way to third is Izturis. And now the Angels have runners at first and third with 2 down. And so decision time for Manny Acta.
I think it's time to go get him. He's been upstairs. He's been behind all the hitters. You're going back for the 4th time, and you got Pistano ready. Watch him up in the zone. There it is, a sinker, high sinker. It flattens out, and out comes Manny Acta. So he is going to go get him. Great effort today by Derek Lowe. He goes 7 2/3.
Just 3 hits, couple of walks. He leaves with 2 on, 2 out here in the 8th. The Indians on top 2-0. Vinny Pistano will be coming on when we come back as Lowe leaves to a nice ovation. Angels have him at the corners with 2 down, and Vinny Pistano coming on for the Indians to face Mike Trout. And Pistano so far on the year making his 11th appearance already. A win, no losses, ERA 2.89 and 9 1/3 innings. He has punched out 13 and walked just 1.
Well, came into a ball game here on Friday night and had a couple strikeouts in an inning. And I mean big ones. Got Vernon Wells with a fastball up. Look at that little slider. Ibar right there. High fives all the way around. And a great job this afternoon by Derek Lowe. 7 2/3 innings, just 3 hits. I think just ran out of gas a little bit. Started to get up in the strike zone. A couple of walks today. 1 strikeout, but pounded the strike zone. Let his defense work. Well done. Turn it over to your bullpen here in the 8th inning.
Mike Trout 0 for 3 today, 0 for 7 in the series now. And it's low, ball 1. Fastball took off. It's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tying run at first in the form of.
Well, got to throw him a strike. He's fallen behind. First 3 pitches have not found the strike zone.
Peter Borges running for Iannetta at first, representing the tying run for the Angels. .30 pitch, and it's just on the outside corner, 3-1. Swung on and missed, a full count. So that runner at first, Borges, is going to be off on his 3-2 pitch as we take another look at the 3-1. He might have helped him out.
That's a tough pitch. It's one you may not want to swing at, but you're looking for the fastball. It's one you're not going to do a lot with.
The payoff. Oh, my. Ball 4, and they're loaded. That looked almost too close to take.
Well, he went from the outside corner to the inside corner. Santana sitting down and away, and that one rides inside, and it did look like it was in off the plate. That ball took off on him.
So the bases are loaded with 2 down now, and Howie Kendrick 0 for 3 today at the plate. And he goes right at him with a good fastball for strike 1. Off-speed pitch, drops it in, 0-2. Now Pistano 1 strike away from leaving him loaded here in the 8th. 2-strike pitch. Popped out of play. Angels everywhere you look here in the 8th with 2 down. Pistano ready with the 0-2. Struck him out. Pistano leaves him loaded as he strikes out Kendrick to end the inning. And the Indians stay on top 2-0. They go to Bobby Wilson behind the plate. Eric Ibar has come on for Isturiz at shortstop. And Isturiz takes over at second base, so Howie Kendrick's out of the ball game. Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, Jack Hanahan due here in the bottom of the 8th. Hafner 0 for 3 today, 1 for 9 in the series. And he tries to beat the shift, and he does.
He sure did.
Goes the other way with a bouncing ball single.
Couldn't have rolled it out there any better. When you have 3 on that side, it doesn't have to be hit all that hard. You can see him playing on the second base side and gets it past and into the outfield. So hit number 8 for the Tribe. They have had their leadoff man aboard now for the 3rd time. They did it the first 2 innings. Or wait, no, they did it in the 7th inning as well. This is the 4th time.
Carlos Santana 2 for 3, a single and a double. Looks at ball 1 from the right-hander Kevin Jepson, who can run it up there in the low to mid-90s. Broke his bat, base hit left field. Second time he has shattered a bat in half today. And both times the barrel has ended up past the pitcher's mound. And he's got 2 hits out of the deal.
Well, those are called the exploding bats that he just put the order in from Tony Amato. And he ordered a great dozen because 2 of them have ended in base hits. It's almost identical. You'll see the barrel head going out around the mound. He gets it over Trumbo's head at third base.
Hafner's going to come out for a pinch runner as Jason Donald takes over for him at second base. So Hafner brings the barrel of the bat back to the dugout with him. And now Jack Hanahan 0 for 2 will be the batter. With 2 on, nobody out here in the 8th as the Indians try to add to a 2-0 lead. Hanahan squares, pulls it back, takes it for ball 1. He's got him even with the bags at the corners. He squares, pulls it back. It's called a strike, and now Jack's not sure about Adrian Johnson's call. Obviously, Manny Acta wants to play for another run here. Bunts it high off the plate. Jepson looked to third. He throws it away at first, and the Indians will add a run. Donald comes home. It's 3-0.
Well, that's just Estura's fault right there. Jepson comes off the mound. He looked at third. He was there at first in time. That's going to be another error. And I mean, it was there. It's going to go as a sacrifice. And the throw was right there.
Well, it was a little bit across the bag, and with the runner coming in, I don't know if Estura short-armed it.
Let's watch. I mean, this is going to be our McDonald's I'm loving it replay. He was afraid that Hanahan was going to run him over, I think was what it was. It might have been a little, but you got to catch the ball. I mean, Hanahan's not sprinting down that bad.
It wasn't a terrible throw, that's for sure.
It was up the line a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. So sacrifice, and I want to see who they give the error on. They gave it to the pitcher for the throw? Okay. Well, maybe it was worse than I thought.
Yeah, might be hard to tell from that angle, but anyway you score it, the Indians are on top 3-0, and Mike Scioscia not happy. Normally, his Angel Ball Club's very fundamentally sound. And that's a play where I agree with you, though. If you're Estura's, you've got to come across the bag and make the catch then.
Switch your footwork,
yeah.
I mean, and really go ahead. You know it's a sacrifice situation. You got to be ready for anything.
Now with a runner at third, still nobody out. Shelley Duncan 0 for 3 at the plate. Hits it deep center field. Back is Trout. And he will make the catch. Tagging and coming home is Carlos Santana. 4-0 Indians. So they take full advantage of the error. They pick up a pair of runs here in the 8th inning as Duncan gets his 8th RBI on the season.
Yeah, nicely done. Wasted no time. Get that man in from third base. So they do. They've taken advantage of both errors today to the utmost. The 2-run error by Torrey Hunter and Wright in the 5th. And then right there on the sacrifice, they take advantage of that error.
Casey Kochman 1 for 3 today. Takes down low ball 1. And Kochman looks at a strike 1-1. Yankees still lead the Tigers 3-2. They're in the 6th in New York. The White Sox shutting out Boston 3-0 in the 4th, and the Twins handing it to Kansas City 6-1. They're in the 4th in Minnesota. It's only 4 innings, but whoever started that game for Chicago is no-hitting the Red Sox through 4 innings.
Well, I'll let you know in a second.
Back over the screen by Kochman. And they just had a perfect game a few days ago.
It's Gavin Floyd.
Hanahan is at first with 1 out. Ball down in the dirt, 2-2. Isn't that something, though, how you put the bunt on to play, essentially to play for a run. You want to get that extra run home, and it ends up you score 2 in the end.
That happens a lot. I mean, a lot of times when you play for 1, you end up having some big innings. And now, especially if they make a mistake. But there's going to be times you play for 1, you're not going to get it, and you're saying, why did we give up the out? We should have went for it. But more times than not, if you're consistent with your ball club and you go out there and you move a runner over, they'll get it in, and you will see a lot of big innings because things happen like that. You know, you were looking, I was a little surprised to see him bunt because you had Duncan on deck who's been struggling to swing the bat, but he does bunt Hanahan. Hanahan does his job. They throw the ball away, and then Duncan comes up and hits a sacrifice fly. Next thing you know, there's 2 runs. It's a 4-0 ball game. That's I like that. Good baseball. Add on anytime you get a chance. Late in the game, if you can add on, you take a lot of momentum away from a team that's having a tough time scoring anyway.
Almost chased after it, up high, full count. Start the runner here, 3-2.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? You're up 4 runs. Be aggressive. Try and get more.
Hanahan takes off, and the 3-2 is hit pretty well. Deep right field. Hunter back, still going back, and makes the
Double
catch.
play. Look
and
at
Hanahan's
that.
almost to third.
Well, you just keep going. There was nothing he could do. He was already past second base. Just keep right on running.
That's going to go 7-4-6 on the putout to end the inning. 2 more for the Tribe, 4-zip as we go to the 9th. 4-0 Indians. 9th inning here at Progressive Field. And our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Carlos Santana with a great day at the plate. Michael Brantley heating up. Jason Kipnis another base hit.
Well, not a ton of offense, but certainly just enough. And they've taken advantage of a couple of Angel miscues.
Yes, they have. Albert Pujols 0 for 3 here this afternoon and 2 for 11 in the series.
Indians trying to win their first series here at Progressive Field this year, which would be nice. If they can do that, that'll be their 4th series win on the year, and against the American League West Division, their record would go to 6-3.
Ooh, fastball looked like it was right there on the outside corner, maybe just a tad wide. Swung out and missed. He threw it by him. Perez strikes out Pujols, 1 down in the 9th.
He just reared back and threw the fastball and gets it by him. There it is. It's up above the belt. Excellent location. 93 with some movement. Tough to catch up to that.
Kendry Morales fouling it back out of play. Not a save situation here today for Chris Perez, but nonetheless an important 9th inning to try and pitch the Indians to this series win.
Yeah, and you got an off day tomorrow, so come on in and get some work.
Outside. Back out of play again. 1-2. Derek Lowe started this game for the Indians today and did a terrific job. 7 2/3, 3-hit shutout baseball. At one point, he retired 13 in a row. Benny Pistano got a key strikeout with the bases loaded in the 8th. And now Chris Perez trying to finish it off. The 1-2. Morales again fouling it back. Popped up, and that's going to go back into the seats. It stays a ball and 2 strikes. Morales and then Torrey Hunter for the Angels here in the 9th. Hit the center. Brantley cruises back. He's there. 2 down. Well, even though we're in a bit of a homer drought, every time the Indians go deep this year, Rick and I are donating $5, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. $960 raised so far this year. Great needs, great deeds. Great Clips. This will be the 11th straight game in which the Indians have not hit a home run. Longest drought since 1983 when they went 14 games without a home run. All the way to the backstop. The Indians 1 out away from their first shutout of the season. And the Angels are on the verge of being shut out for the 4th time.
That is incredible. You talk about a struggling offense 4 times out of their first 23 games.
Fouled on the right side into the seats. Nice souvenir on the ricochet. Fine grab. One and one to count. This Sunday afternoon crowd of better than 15,000 up on their feet. Hunter swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. The pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out to end the game. The Indians win it by a final score of 4-0. They get their first shutout of the year, and the Angels are blanked officially for the fourth time this season. And the Indians get another series win. They are now 11-9 on the year, and they will finish the month of April in first place in the American League Central Division. Good start to the year. The Angels will limp home now 7-15 on the year. The winner is Derek Lowe. He's now 4-1. The loser is Irvin Santana. He is 0-5. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. The home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points, redeem for gifts.
Well, there the big play, the sun ball. That allowed the Indians to get their first 2 runs off the bat of Cabrera. 2 outs in the inning. Brantley comes around to score. Cunningham was there. Torrey Hunter, 9-time Gold Glover, says, I just didn't see it. And that's all the Indians needed. That's going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
So the Indians now ready to hit the road. After an off day tomorrow, Tribe winner 4-0. Now down to Katie Witham.
Well, Michael, the last time Irvin Santana was in here, he no-hit you guys. You weren't having any of that today. You've now hit in 5 straight. What was the key in jumping on him early?
I just want to attack him early. Don't let him get to his slider. That's his best pitch. And we put up some good ABs early, and we came up on top.
And you guys were able to take advantage of some errors out there. I mean, talk to me about the sun. How big of a problem was it?
Yeah, the sun was in center to start and kind of moved to right. And kind of helped us out in an advantage, nice home field advantage.
Absolutely. Derek Lowe comes up with his 4th win today. He was a ground ball machine. How nice was it to see him come out here and perform like that?
Well, it was great for the outfilders. He threw
You weren't busy at all.
No, not at all. But he threw well. You got to tip your hat to him, cut the ball down, and, kept the hitters off balance. That's what you got to do. And it was just great to see him out there. They do so well.
Congrats on the win. Enjoy that day off tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. So the Indians get the victory. 4-0 is the final score. They take the series. We'll be back to wrap things up from Progressive Field right after this.